let me break down to y'all why it's not terrible to be a stepdad. So when you get on this app, you got a bunch of dudes that are telling you you don't never want to raise somebody else's kids. You don't never want to be a stepdad. Those kids and that woman will never respect you. And look, you're free to have your opinion. If it's not something you're comfortable with, then don't do it. I'm not trying to push you to do nothing that you're not comfortable with. But as someone who had a stepfather around, obviously not everybody's experience is like mine, right? Some people have had bad experiences. Of course they have. But let me explain to you mine. One of the things those men say is that the woman and the kids will never respect that man. I remember watching my stepdad stand up to my mother for me. So I had some kind of mystery illness. I was in the hospital for like a week, and it was when I was in college, and I was like an 8-hour drive away from home, and my mom couldn't make it to be with me. And I like told her not to come. Like it's not that if I pushed it, she would have came. I was really wanting her not to be there. When I'm sick or things going on with me, I don't like anybody. I don't like the fact that I disrupt anybody's life. I really don't like it. So I was in the hospital from Monday till Saturday, and then my mom wanted me to drive back to Virginia Beach where she lived, and then she would take me to another doctor for a second opinion. So I was in the hospital. For those of y'all who've been in the hospital for a long time, it is so draining and exhausting. I hated being in the hospital. So when I got back to Virginia Beach, my mom was freaking out. Let's go to the doctor right now. Let's go to the doctor right now. And I was like, Mom, there's absolutely no way I'm going to the doctor right now. It's Saturday. I will go on Monday. I'm so burnt out from the doctor, Mom. I am not going. And she was just losing her mind. You're going to the doctor. You're going to the hospital. You're going. And she just kept pushing me to go. And then this is when the first time I saw my stepfather put my mother in her place. He raised his voice at her. Now, when I say raise his voice, he didn't yell at her, right? But just got stern and was like, leave him alone. He tired of being in the hospital. He said he's going to go on Monday. Leave him alone. And the first time in my life, I saw my mom shut up. And I was like, and people have asked me that I feel weird about a man talking to my mom like that. Absolutely not. I don't know what it was. But after that, she calmed down. She was like, all right, fine, we'll go on Monday. And I just was bug-eyed. Like, the fact that he'd have my back like that to my mom, and I get she's just nervous and afraid and everything. But my stepdad, Mike, I was Team Mike every day after that. We even threatened my mom after that. We was like, if you and my stepdad break up, we going with him. Because that's the dynamic of a relationship. She know her man, he know his woman. She knew he was just being stern. He knew that she just was scared. But he put his foot down. And I had never seen anybody put their foot down with my mom like that. I didn't even know it was possible. So it got to the point that anytime she was tripping after that, I would just look at him, see her yelling, and look at him like, y'all make it seem like stepfathers have no authority in relation. No, they do.
All right, we've heard enough, sir. We've heard enough. So your premise is that you are telling us that we should tell men that it's okay to be step parents because your stepfather ultimately got into an altercation with your real mother, and he was stern with his voice, and then his mother was quiet. Did I miss something? Is it another part of the story here or something like that? Here's the question that we need to ask ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. How is it beneficial to any man to take authority of another man's child? How is that ever in any way, shape, or form? Because nobody, and I mean nobody, and I've been doing this for years, I'm one of the OG YouTubers, nobody has ever been able to successfully convince me or substantiate the argument as to why it would be beneficial to take care of another man's child. I don't care how many simps and how many weak men jump on these apps, and you know that I'm always going to give credit to the content creators, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. I'm never going to take any advice, and I would suggest that you guys do the same. Never take advice from men that will tell you a long, drawn-out story about how they went to the hospital and then their mother was trying to get them to get up and go to the doctor again, and then the stepfather said, hey, stop it. Let that boy rest. So that man took on you and whatever other siblings, and you think that it's beneficial for him or that he gets some glory out of looking at another man's kids that don't look nothing like him and raising them for no reason, and we're supposed to be doing it for the greater good, man, fuck what y'all talking about, bro. We just need to just straight up just be real, have some real conversations, and get down to the thick of things. It will never be in a man's best interest. You should never take a package deal. And I'm dead set on the fact that these women is out here talking about and just whining and running their mouth, talking about how they got higher standards and how all of this other type of stuff. I don't even know how a man can bring himself to say, you know what? She is so good of a woman that I am willing to get to know her children. It's hard enough to get to know regular people that you don't even know. When you got to go and get interactive with somebody else's children, think about it also from this lens. What if the guy then decides that he wants to get back involved with the children's lives? Do you then take a back seat after you'd already been playing a huge role in their life? Do you fight for them? Do you then adopt them? Because if you adopt them, right, and you relieve him of all responsibility for it, and let's say he goes along with that. Let's say he goes along with that, and you, as a child, never ever go and seek out another inkling of this guy because you don't want to know where you came from. You're not interested in having a conversation with him or nothing like that, right? So let's say you completely relinquish responsibility and you adopt them, and then she divorced you. Don't you know that you then can be liable for child support for children that were then dependent on you, and then they not even yours? So the relationship can go south, right? Because you're banking on you and her being amicable and having a great relationship for the rest of your life. The relationship could go south, and then you could be responsible for child support for another man. If that's not the most diabolical nonsense that I've ever heard in my entire life. And now you have guys that sat there in their car and told you or convinced themselves, you know what, it would be a great idea for me to drop a video on social media and advocate for single mothers and tell men that it's not all bad at all. It could be a great thing. And every time that my mom raised her voice, we were like, hey, we won't team up against you. That it would be an interesting thing or a beneficial thing for you to then possibly put yourself in a position to where you would then date a single mother because of what? Now, when we had these conversations, and I don't even like to say what do you bring to the table. I like to say what value do you add into the conversation? What value does that bring to you? What do you get out of it other than a feel-good story? Granted, or considering, let's just assume for the sake of conversation that you don't feel no type of way, or y'all never get into an argument, or you don't break up, or you with this woman for the rest of your life. It's crazy, man. This is crazy. It's madness. It's 100% madness. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.